Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us tonight. The desperate search for a beautiful 3-year-old Florida girl, Kelly.
New developments in the case of missing 3-year-old Florida toddler Kaylee Anthony. Investigators with the Orange County Sheriff's Office say they will continue to search for Kaylee Marie, hoping to find clues that could lead to the remains of the young child.
I want to remind everyone that we have not achieved our primary objective in this investigation. We have not recovered little Kaylee Anthony.
She's alone about 20 hours a day in her cell. She eats alone there. Today it was cornflakes for breakfast, turkey, hot dogs, and beans for lunch, Salisbury steak, gravy, and potatoes for dinner. She does get dessert 3 times a day if she wants. And she can have photographs on her shelf in her cell, but we are told there are no photographs, not even of Kaylee.
Bounty hunter Leonard Padilla has announced his intention to return to Florida to assist Texas EquiSearch in their hunt to find little Kaylee. As Top Mom Casey Anthony's defense team prepares to go to trial, Anthony remains behind bars on no bond after being indicted for capital murder, aggravated manslaughter, aggravated child abuse, and 4 other charges.
Straight out to Martin Williams with WNDB News Talk 1150. Suddenly, EquiSearch is coming back to search. Why the about face?
I talked to Leonard Padilla over the weekend by phone, and he says he will team up with EquiSearch starting November 8th. They will have a massive search in the around an area near the Orlando airport, a heavily wooded area where they couldn't get to a couple of weeks ago because of storms, water left over by Tropical Storm Faye. They are going to find Kaylee Anthony one way or another. Leonard Padilla has reached out to other bail bondsmen saying, come to Orlando, we need your help. This is going to be a massive search. At least 1,000 people to be involved, Nancy.
But why the about face? We just heard right here on our show a couple of days ago from Tim Miller, the head of Texas EquiSearch, that he was pulling up stakes because of lack of cooperation from the Anthony family. Now about face, why?
Well, I think what has happened over the past couple of days is Tim Miller from EquiSearch had other fish to fry. He had other cases to go on. He's already spent $44,000 on this search, and now with the help of Leonard Padilla and his bail bondsmen, friends, and thousands of people, they're going to find something one way or another, and I think that's what changed Tim's mind.
Out to Kathy Bellich with CNN affiliate WFTV. What can you tell us, Kathy?
Well, I talked with Mr. Miller actually a few days ago when he said he was coming back here, and he said that he thinks there's still a lot of interest in finding Kaylee. He, as you just heard, he's expecting 1,000 people, and finances were probably a concern as well. And now that Leonard Padilla is going to help raise some money for that, I think he's changed his mind and he's coming back.
I want to find out about this new defense team. What can you tell me, Kathy Bellich?
Well, Baez's PR person put out a release today saying they're still getting that together. They're not making any comments, but there's a new attorney, a South Florida attorney who is death qualified, who visited Casey over the weekend in jail Saturday night. His name is Terrence Michael Lenneman, and he has handled a couple of high-profile cases in South Florida. Again, Baez won't say whether he's part of the team yet or not.
Let's take a look at who he has represented in the past. Here's Dale Hall. That was about the murder of a witness in a case involving a victim. There you see that person. He got the death penalty. Cesar Mena, convicted of murder and attempted second-degree murder. Next case. Oh, yes, that was a teenage couple that he raped the young lady and killed both her and the boyfriend. And here is Brady. He murdered the mom and left a 5-year-old little girl on Alligator Alley. The little girl, the 5-year-old, was eaten and killed by alligators. Now, these are the people this guy has represented. Agree, disagree, Mark Williams?
They're the baddest of the bad, I'll tell you that. I was looking over those cases, and they're just horrendous cases. That's what happens in South Florida, and he has an interesting case right here if he decides to take the case, because she has not talked. There's a problem with credibility, and this thing has had a lot of media play, Nancy.
We are taking your calls live, but right now, take a look at this.
Casey Anthony, high-spirited party girl living the Sex and the City lifestyle with more than one man on the hook at one time, is now one of the loneliest women in Central Florida, accused of murdering her daughter Kaylee to free herself of maternal encumbrances. She now finds herself not only childless, but friendless. She can see out through a glass wall, but then everybody else can see in.
No one has privacy in jail.
She's alone about 20 hours a day in her cell. She eats alone there. Today it was cornflakes for breakfast, turkey, hot dogs, and beans for lunch, Salisbury steak, gravy, and potatoes for dinner. She does get dessert 3 times a day if she wants. And she can have photographs on her shelf in her cell, but we are told there are no photographs, not even of Kaylee. No one in her family has asked to visit her over the last week. She's made no phone calls. It's no party here for Casey.
Well, I guess not to Kathy Bellich joining us from WFTV. Is it true, the reports that she eats, sleeps, reads, and lounges all day long?
It is true. That's about all she does. I understand she has 3 meals a day. I couldn't find out whether she eats everything, but she has the option of having dessert 3 times a day. And she basically spends the day by herself. She has recreation for an hour a day, again, alone, whatever she wants to do. Yeah, she's pretty much lounging, reading and sleeping.
Now, what can you tell me about the fact that she's allowed to have photos up, but nothing of little Kaylee?
Yeah, she has a shelf that's on the wall and a desk in her cell, and she's allowed to have photos in that cell, on that desk, on that shelf, and she has no photos at all, no photos of Kaylee in there.
We are taking your calls live out to Angie in Virginia. Hi, Angie.
Hi, Nancy. You're my hero. I love you.
Thank you. I certainly do not deserve that, but thank you. What is your question, dear?
Will it make it harder to seek the death penalty against Casey without Kaylee's body, which she very much deserves?
Let's unleash lawyer Susan Moss out of New York, Ann Bremner, high-profile lawyer out of Seattle, and Christopher A. Mulch out of Washington. Susan?
It will make it more difficult, but I don't think it will make it impossible. Look, these aren't the bars that Casey is used to, but she'll have a long time to get used to them now.
Kovacs says the woman definitely looked like Casey Anthony, wearing the big straw hat, big red sunglasses, and he says she had a shovel and a bag.
Trying to get the bag and the shovel into the trunk, she darn near knocked her hat off her head, ran her head into the car and everything.